Final race on the programme, race number 8, the Washington DC Handicap. It's a Class 2, it's over the 1650. Really good race to finish here. Packing Dragon, a 4-time course winner here last season. Doyenne, blinkers on for the first time. He dipped his toe into Group Company last season. Victory Marble gets the gear change. Dr. Listening goes up in class. Sichuan Da's got a great record course and distance as well. Beauty Prince goes up in class. Classic Emperor and Good Heart Success, well, they're pretty close to a class drop, along with Beauty Prince, actually, in fact, off 81.
There's a number of horses that could find the front early, but I think Victory Marble showed last Wednesday night when he led over 1200 that he's probably got most of these covered through the first 300. But Classic Emperor's got a front-running profile, as does Packing Dragon. The pace will be good. I don't think Victory Marbles can sort of sit and sprint. He will have to conserve energy, though, going over the longer trip. But it's a quality field, and I don't think there'll be a slow tempo at all. Not much to show here, but I'll concentrate on Dr. Listening. He'll be right in the market, and you can see this piece of work here. An 800-metre gallop for him. Now, Matthew Poon was on him in this particular piece, but Zach Burton will take race day mount, but he did one on him last time, so Zach knows the horse very well. Yeah, it was a smart win, 1,800 metres. Don't forget, this is another one of the Quartet first 4 merged jackpots, so $1 million going into the pool there. Back at the touchscreen for this final event, because there's quite a bit to get through. So we'll start off with a race here at Happy Valley at the back end of last season, and 3 contenders in here. Packing Dragon was up on the speed the whole way and got first run on them, really. Speedy Longuart just jammed in between a few, and Friends of Ka Ying, he got the final drop on them. Friends of Ka Ying was a horse that I tipped a number of times last season, and I've managed to sort of sneak him in to the tips again, but it's a quality race. I've got Packing Dragon in for 4th. He's drawn one. He's got the claim for Matthew Poon. He's 1-for-1 course and distance. He won 4 races last season, so you can make a case for him too. Yeah, I've got definitely got Packing Dragon in because he's a really tough stayer and a hard horse to get past. So I've got him in for 2nd. I think he can run well. The ground that's Friends of Ka Ying made up that final 50 is really flying, but good ride from Chad on Packing Dragon. Yeah, I'm sort of thinking maybe 1,800 is his better distance, Friends of Ka Ying, for me anyway, but, you know, he's going to finish hard, and I think, you know, a lot of these horses have trialled leading in, and most of them have trialled well. All right, well, this is Dr. Listening. We saw him in track work there. So smooth when he came into the straight. It was just a matter of how far. Yeah, he won really well, didn't he? And he's won fresh up before. We saw that bit of track work. He's had plenty going in. Now, he'll get back. There is a bit of pace in this race, so he should be able to slot in, and I can see him finishing over the top. He's always showing plenty of promise. Yeah, as a young horse, he looked, you know, sort of Class 1, didn't he? He'll get his opportunity here in Class 2 for the first time. He's defeated McQueen there. There's a bit more depth to this race, but he is a lovely horse. That's Thunderstomp just sort of disappearing out of picture there. He won last Wednesday. This is going to be tougher, but there's certainly scope to go there. The gear change might have been key. It stays on as well. Right, we're back at the trials here. 4 horses engaged. Classic Emperor had been on the speed the whole way through. California Joy just tracking. Friends of Ka Ying once more. And Doyenne, an interesting one here, because dropped right out, but Douglas White pulls him out wide and really lets him go down the straight. I really like the trial of Friends of Ka Ying, Andrew. He'll be going into the tips for me. I've got a lot of time for Doyenne. 2 starts ago, he was a length off Booming Delight. He hasn't had a lot of racing at the Valley. This trial looks just average. Blinkers go on. He's a quality horse. I'd be keeping him safe if you're playing exotics, but for me, Friends of Ka Ying is the one out of this that I'd be taking note of. But I know, Paul, you thought California Joy trialled OK, and Classic Emperor, just the class is the issue with him. Yeah, he's up in grade, so he's, you know, he has popped up fresh before, and we know he's a hard horse to get past, but there is a bit of pace in this race. Yeah, all right, well, another horse to take on board. It's a course and distance winner. Is Pikachu's giving himself a little bit of work to do out the back in this trial as well. He's a 1-time winner in the grade. He's got a very good record course and distance. He's drawn a touch awkward. The key to him being able to feature in the finish for me is, can he get closer to the speed like he did last season when Joe won on him? I think this trial here suggests he might be just a fraction undone. He was being worked at extremely hard final stages. Yeah, he won a bit of pace on money. He does come off the pace quite regularly, but that's the way he was pushed out there. I'm happy to watch him go around. Generally, he's also better, probably a class lower. Yeah. I didn't find a place for him, but I didn't mind it. He was, he was at him, but he was making some ground as well. If he bobbed up in the first 4, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah. All right, well, that's Pikachu. What about Sichuan Da? What are his chances with jockey Chad Schofield?
Chad Sichuan Da is a horse that you've had a bit to do with since he's gone over to the Millard stable. It's his first run for this stable at Happy Valley. He's won twice there. Is this the right race for him?
I think it is. I think he's looking for the mile now. He's not showing a great deal of urgency at the gates anymore, and he's sort of looking like he wants a bit further now. He's a bit older, so we're drawing a nice gate. The speed should be on, and we'll probably be about midfield somewhere, and hopefully he can hit the line strong.
How's his work been?
His work's been good. He's sort of not the horse that sets the track on fire, but he's fitting well, and he's had a nice trial. He's not a big fan of the dirt, but he did close off well in his trial, and I'm confident he'll run a good race.
You've also had quite a bit to do with Packing Dragon, who lines up here. Was it your call, though, to go with Sishwandar?
I think they decided to claim with Packing Dragon, obviously at the top of the weights, but he's a very, very good Happy Valley horse, and he'll be bowling along out in front, and he'll be hard to catch.
There you go. I certainly think he's got to come into the equation there, Sishwandar, but ultimately, Paul, is a high-class end of the night.
Yeah, really good race to finish off. You should get a good betting race as well. I've gone with Dr. Listening, though, on top. I just think he's the class horse of the lot. Packing Dragon, a very hard horse to get past. We just heard from Chad there. Sishwandar does go well fresh, and he does like Happy Valley. And California Joy, a really good fresh-up record from him. I think he can add a bit of spice into the exotics. 5, 1, 8, 9. I'll play QQP 1, 5 and 8 in an even race.
It is a good even race. I'm going to go with Sishwandar. I just keep looking at that overall record for him. He's had 3 runs course and distance, or 3 runs course and distance for 2 wins. He's won first up. The trial was good. I think he can just sit in behind. Friends of Kaying, Dr. Listening, Packing Dragon. It's a very difficult race. I'm just going to play the 8 on an each-way basis.
Yeah, it's a super end to the night. That is the final race on the programme. The stats have been going quite well at the start of this season. The one we're going to focus in on this occasion is Neil Callan and Peter Ho. Their record looks pretty good, Paul.
It's pretty good. Last season, you can see they had 18 goes together. They had 5 wins in 3 seconds. So a good first 3 rate of 44%. And I don't mind 10 Flames. He's a course specialist. I think he's a horse that can sort of add to that for this season, and they can get off to a nice start here. So he is getting on in age, but he is a 5-time winner, as you can see there at Happy Valley. So they're obviously a deadly combination. Keep an eye on them.
Might be an each-way player. Very competitive night, as it always is at Happy Valley, but best bet time, Paul?
Yeah, well, for me, I'm going to go, I've sort of done my hand early, but it's Jade Theatre, really progressive horse. Should get a really nice run in transit, and Berta Responsibly agrees there,
Never
as you
gets
can
tired.
see. Curling Luxury is my long shot, currently about $14. Galloped really superbly down into the Class 5 for the first time, and I think he's better than Class 5. My play of the day, I said Jade Theatre, just back it to win, but if you, from an exotic point of view, throw in the QQP's extremely fun and dollar reward.
I'm going to go with Fun Manager, race 3, number 8. I don't think it's much of a race. I liked his run at the end of last season. I've liked his trial leading in. Zach's done a lot of work with him. I think he can get it done. And 6-4 Divine Boy is very well rated now. He's working well. He should be double figures. And my play will be in that race. Banker Magnetism in your trio trifecta, and work around Literature, Jade Fortune, Divine Boy and Razor Quest to fill the other spots.
All right, for me, race number 5, Enormous Honour. Nashville on board for me. He's won off 72. He's here off 58. Gets the cheek pieces on for the first time, and a good trial. And Right Honourable, they'll go flat out. He probably needs further, but he could run into a place at a big price in the feature, the Farkay Cup. And the QQP for me, 2, 3 and 8. So that's about it. Looking forward to a jam-packed Wednesday night. But a quick backup for us. We're back on Saturday at Sha Tin.
Yes, Saturday racing at Sha Tin this weekend. So a couple of good meetings coming up in quick succession.
There is the Chinese Recreation Club Cup, I think, Paul.
Always a good race.
Couple of races.
Yep.
Couple of races on the dirt again too.
Looking forward to that.
Absolutely.
Always enjoy the all-weather action. But that's the show. Thanks for watching. So on behalf of Paul, Brett and the rest of the team, hopefully we'll see you at Happy Valley when we will be racing to win.
Good night.
Good night.